My favourite out of all of the Lord of the Rings and the Peter Jackson films, The Desolation of Smaug. If you haven't seen the first Hobbit movie yet, then one, you're a bit behind, and number two, what are you doing watching a review for the second film? Huh? That being said, I reckon you'd still enjoy this movie just as much. It just helps if you've seen the first film. So the Hobbit Bilbo, played by Martin Freeman and company, have successfully travelled through the Misty Mountains and are now on their way to the deserted dwarf kingdom in the Lonely Mountain, which is supposedly held hostage by the dragon Smaug. On their travels, they cross through a giant spider-infested forest, run into some wood elves, and smuggle themselves into a human lake town whose mayor is in fact Stephen Fry. Yeah. I don't know why, but I can never imagine Stephen Fry as anyone else other than Stephen Fry. It doesn't really work for me. I was kind of confused as to what he was doing there. What were you doing in Lord of the Rings world, Stephen Fry? You should be on QI. Huh? Yeah. Might be just me. Don't know. Okay, so first let's talk about the acting. Now, Ian McKellen and Orlando Bloom have obviously had years' experience to get to know their character, who are, as usual, just awesome. So by now they can get away with anything. Martin Freeman, on the other hand, has only known his character for what? A year? And a bit, maybe? He already turned into one of my favourite Lord of the Rings characters in the first movie. In this movie, he stole the show. I love the way he portrays Bilbo. Behind the awkward and somewhat clumsy little hobbit, he still manages to make him into the bravest character in the film, probably. The dwarfs are frickin' awesome. All of them are special in some way. I guess that's to be expected though, because that's kind of what they're there for. To seem like big characters even though they're tiny in size. The elves are elegant as always, and I especially like the lady elf, Toriel, in this one. She resembles one of my favourite characters, Eowyn, in the fact that she is completely and utterly badass. She fights. Oh boy, does she fight. Now you probably heard a hell of a lot of people talking about this one scene, and so you probably know what scene I'm talking about right now, but it was spectacular. And that is the scene when they're going down the river in the barrels. A film can hardly ever these days get me to the point where I'm literally sitting on the edge of my seat, not because I'm so, like, into the suspense and stuff, but because I literally want to be closer to the screen and grab a barrel and go down the river myself. This scene was so fast-paced and exciting. You had orcs running down the river through the trees and over the rocks to try to get to the dwarves, and then meanwhile you had the elves weaving in and out of the trees, like shooting their arrows at the orcs and getting bullseye every single time, and then meanwhile you have the dwarves going down the river, like bumping into each other, and at the same time throwing each other weapons so that they can fight the orcs at the same time. It was an incredible piece of cinema. Go and watch the film just for that scene. Just for that scene. One of the main reasons why I like this film so much is because it was so event-filled. There was stuff constantly happening. You have giant terrifying spiders, a huge bear thing starts chasing them at one point, you have orcs constantly on their tail, and then you get to the dragon. Oh boy, the dragon. The moment that everyone has been waiting for. Bilbo goes down into Erebor to go and get the big white jewel. It is entirely covered by gold coins, which are incredibly loud and slide everywhere. And then you get to the moment. The moment that you realise that underneath all of those coins, Bilbo, there's a dragon sleeping there. And everyone in the cinema has stopped eating their popcorn and breathing. The cinema is literally silent at this point. Smaug was in every aspect terrifying. When you watch the film and you see Bilbo hiding from Smaug, you'll catch yourself hiding behind your chair just so that Smaug doesn't see you. Seen a glimpse of him in the trailer? Yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. Bring a pillow. As usual with the Lord of the Rings films, the scenery and landscapes are brilliant, the music is superb, and the action scenes are terrific. This is my opinion, but if you are never to watch any Lord of the Rings film but one, make it this one. You will not be disappointed. Seen the film? What did you think of it? Comment below, I'm interested. Cheers!